Hello guys, my name is Khan and actually today is the first video about Visual Basic. Actually what is Visual Basic is that Visual Basic is a kind of a language or computer coding language behind Excel which you can use to automate Excel. If you're a beginner, if you already know Excel, you know that we have different tabs in Excel that we can use to formulate, manipulate data or even filter data. So there are different tabs available in Excel that allows you to manipulate data by making few clicks or by writing the code within this Excel spreadsheet. But actually, in the backend, there is a code which we usually known as VBA or Visual Basic for Applications. So that VBA or coding in VBA allows you to code or manipulate things more quickly or more in an efficient way. So before going toward VBA, so in order to start writing a script in Visual Basic, you must have this developer tab in your Excel. Especially when you install the Excel first time, probably this developer tab will not appear in your Windows. In order to get this tab in your Excel, first you need to go to File and then you have to go to Options. And after going to the option, there is a new window will pop up, and on the left hand side you will see an option related to customize ribbon. And under the customized ribbon, you have to opt this option which is related to a developer tab. For me, I have already opted it. So, but if it's not checked in, just check in and then press OK. And once you will press OK, you will be seeing this developer tab. So in this developer tab, you have different options. So I will start with this from here under the code, because as I said that in VBA we can code things, but under the code you can have so under the developer tab you can directly go and start doing coding. But other than that, there are other options like macros and record macros. What is a macro is, so first I will define what is a macro. So suppose if you have a task in Microsoft Excel that you do repeatedly, so for that you can record a macro, so you don't need to do it repeatedly. So what you will do, you can record a macro to automate those tasks. A macro is an action or a set of actions that you can run as many times you want. So for that, I will show you guys that how you can record a macro at first stage, and then I will take you guys towards the coding of that macro. So suppose if there is I'm just creating a hypothetical example. So I'm saying, what is your name? So, and in the next tab, in the D3, I'm saying my name is John. And here I'm writing down my name is, and in D5 I'm saying that it will take the value from here and will paste it here. Suppose I'm saying Control X and Control V here. So this is the thing that I am doing. So suppose I'm going back, I'm taking this value again, going back here and pasting it here. But suppose now if I don't want to do it by myself, so I don't want to select this cell and then paste it here. I just want to do it automatically. So then how I can do it? So for that, what I can do, there is an option, record a macro. So when I will click record a macro, the Excel will keeps on recording all the steps that I'm doing in Excel, and you don't have to repeat those steps again then. So now if I press record a macro, the Excel will ask me what do you want to name it. So I will call it first macro, and other things you don't need to change it. So I will say okay. And now you can see that there is an option stop recording. So now whatever steps I will do, the Excel will record it. So I will go back to my cell. So now I will go to here, this cell, and I will say Control X. So Excel will record it, and then I will go here, select this cell, and will paste it. And now if I go and it says say stop recording, so Excel have stopped recording now. So whatever I do now, Excel will not keep record of it. But suppose now if I write down what is your name, I will write down Tom. And now if I go back to this tab where it is written down macro, if I click it, you can see that there is a macro which I have already created. And if I press run now, let's see what it will do. So you can see that it have taken the cell from here and pasted it here. And suppose if I write down now John again here, and now if I again go back to here and press it and press the run button again, so you can see that now Excel have taken the same value and have pasted it here. So you can see that you can record your steps in Excel by record a macro. Another thing that I will show you guys is that not only this, you can also edit your macro. So if I go back here, currently you can see that this Excel is selecting D3 and then pasting it at D5. So if I want to edit my macros, so again you have to go to macro. You have to select the macro on which you are working, and then you have to select this edit button. So if I select the edit button, it will take you to the Visual Basic for Applications code window where you can edit your code. So as you can see that our code is starting with a sub. Sub means that you are starting a new macro, and then we are writing the name of the macro. And these under these symbols, the Excel have created a comment for us that this is the name of the macro and calling it macro. And then what happening is that this select the Excel is going to say go and select this D3 cell, and then saying that on that selection operate a cut operation. So it will cut the data from this cell, and then it's saying select the D5 and then paste that value. But so the thing that so suppose this is the macro that I have recorded, so you can change your recorded macro too. So suppose if I say it now, instead of selecting D3, select D2 and paste it at D5. If I do that and if I say save, so you can save it. So your macro will get saved. And now if I do it, so if I go back and if I say John here, so if I say Tom, so say text 1, so instead of making it text 2, so text 2. So probably if I will run my code, if I go to macro and if I run it, you can see that that Excel have taken taken the value from D2 and pasted it here. Again, if I write down text 3 here, and now if I run my macro, then you can see again now Excel have selected this value, then cut that value and pasted it here. So I will go back to my window and I will change it back to D3, and I will just save it and then I will close it. Actually, I will show you guys that how you have to save your Excel file in the end. So another thing is that now it seems very cumbersome that every time you read to run your macro, you have to go back to this option, and then first you have to go to developer tab, then you have to go to this, select this option, then this window will appear, and then you have to select run. So this will become very cumbersome. So in order to resolve that issue, what you can do, you can create a button to run a macro within Excel. In order to do that, you under the developer tab, there is an option insert, and if there is a down arrow within the insert, so you can press that, and there is a first option that will appear, which is the button. So you will create a button. So I will create a button. So after clicking it, you can see that my cursor changed into this plus sign, and I will create a button. And once you select the region area of the button, a new window will appear up, which will be saying what will be this button name. So I will be saying, I will not change it, button 1 underscore click. And then after that, with that button, I will tell Excel that which macro, if I will click that button, which macro Excel will run. Then I will select the macro. Fortunately, we just have one macro, so we will select that, and then I will press OK. So now you can see we have a button here. So now if I write down text 3, and now if I press this button, you can see that with the help of one click, we can run the macro now. And as you can see in this hypothetical example, I'm just in this hypothetical example, what I have done is that I have selected the D3 value and pasted it here. In the same way, you can record different things in Excel by using record a macro. And I also told you guys that how you can change that macro by going to macros and editing it by using this edit option. So in the end, what I will do, I will show you guys that once you will have created this file, you have to save this file. You can't save this file as a normal Excel file. You have to tell Excel that you are saving it as a file which have a Visual Basic VBA code in it. So in order to do that, you have to go to File, Save As, and under the file Save As, I have this folder where I want to save it, and under this folder, Intro to VBA. So I will say first macro created, and after that we will not be selecting Excel workbook, we will be selecting Excel macro enabled workbook. Again, I'm saying that you have to opt Excel macro enabled workbook. If you select Excel workbook or any other option, your macro or your code will not be saved with your file. So you will be saving with Excel macro enabled workbook, and then I will say save, and now your file is saved. So now if I close this file, and if I go back to my folder where I have saved it, now if I run this file, as you can see, now the Excel symbol is also a bit different, because this is not a simple Excel file, it's a Excel file in which macro is enabled. And now if I open this file, and if I repeat anything again here, enable content, and if I press here text 4, and if I click this button, I'm hoping that this macro will work again, and you can see that the macro worked again. This thing will only happen if you will save the file as in macro enabled file. If you don't save this file as a macro enabled file, then your button will not work. So be careful about it. So this is all about introduction to VBA. So in my later videos, I will come up with the new ideas. Thank you for watching the video.